Hello everybody, today we're going to learn how to build a calculator inside of Visual Studio. We're going to start by clicking New Project. We're going to go to Visual C#, Windows, and then the first option where it says Windows Format Application. You can name whatever you want, but I'm going to go ahead and name it Calculator Tutorial. Well, okay. If this loads up, it will give us the Form 1, which will be the output of our calculator. You can size it however you want to, but if we type in Control-Alt-X, it will pop up the toolbox, and you can find things like buttons, text boxes. This is what we'll need to have for the output of our calculator. So this will be a button, like let's say it's a number 1 or 2. If we right click here where it says button 1 and then go down to properties, we can scroll down where it says button 1. We can change that to just the number 1, and that's what will display here, as you can see. But that's just for the output. If we scroll up where in the properties it says name here, this is what we'll see in the code. I'm just going to name it CMD1. You can name whatever you want. This is just what you'll see inside of the code. Okay, but since I've made this quite a few times already, the calculator app, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it right in. So I've already named everything. I've got everything here. I just need to go ahead and code it. This is the fun part. It already comes here with templates such as using system Windows form, all this stuff, namespace. But we got to go back to design, and whichever button you want to code first, you can pick. I'm going to start with clear, so we just double click that and it pulls it up here. But first we have to declare our local variables. Let's see here. If you double slash it here, you can add a comment. So this will keep it more organized for you guys. This is where we can start. Now, string is what we'll need for the text box. This will be, let's say, whatever we enter in, like such as plus, addition, all that good stuff. And then for a number, such as whatever value we enter in. So we can call this value 1, and then the second one we enter in will be another double. Double is just used for any number that is not just an integer. It can be a decimal point, it can be anything, whatever you enter into the calculator. Okay. Here we go to clear. Now to clear the text, we will have to enter in, we will have to enter in whatever we typed in for the name of our text box when we were typing in the name for the coding part. I named mine text box, so whatever you named yours, type that in, and then after that we're going to go ahead and type in period text, and then we're going to set this to nothing. So this will clear it out, and whatever is inside of here, so we can make it say whatever we want in the text box, just whatever is inside of the quotations. Oops. I don't know what just happened. Sorry about that. Okay. So as you can see here, I've already named this value 1. I got to name this value 2. Sorry about that. Then we can click the start button and it pulls up our calculator. We haven't done any of this, so it doesn't enter in the numbers, but if we type in clear, it adds incorrect as we typed in here. But what we want clear to do is just clear out whatever we've already entered in, so we'll leave that to nothing. And what we also want the clear button to do is set whatever the value is, such as value 1, this variable we've already named up there. We would want that to be equal to 0. Same with value 2. And the sign, since it's not a number, it is a string, we want that to equal nothing. Same as the text box. Okay. Now we can go back to the design view over here where the output is, and the next thing we can code here is, let's do the number 1. So this one's very simple. If we do same thing similar to the clear, Look at that. Can't type. Okay. So the text box dot text, we will want that to equal CMD1. Okay. Now if we just copy this, this will make it a lot easier. We go back to the design view and do this for each number. Change this to CMD2. And for 3. Four. And again, you can name it whatever you want. I just think CMD 7 was easiest just to keep it in order. The only thing you're not allowed to do when naming buttons is only name it a number. That's why I didn't just give the name of the coding part of it, just the number 1 or the number 2 for whichever number I was entering in. Okay, almost done with the numbers. We got 9 and then 0. And then we can start getting to the trickier stuff. Okay. Now to see what we've done so far, I can hit the start. There's 4, 1, 2, 5, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. All of that works, so we can see that's so far so good. Clear that. That works as well. Now this part is where it gets a little more tricky. We'll go back to the design view to pick another button to start. Let's start doing subtract first. So CMD subtract, we're going to want to set the sign equal. We've already declared this variable. We want it to be subtract sign, obviously. And then we're going to want value 1. So this is the first number we're going to enter in. And we're going to need to set this double, which is a number. And then dot parse allows us to switch it allows a number to be used by a string, which we've already declared earlier. So dot parse, and we're going to want that text box. Whatever's entered in that text box is where we're going to want to pull it from. Okay. And then the text box will have to be set to nothing. And then it is similar for the addition button, except we want to change the sign in here to the plus sign. Okay, next we can go over to equal. Now this one is the hardest button out of all of them because this is where we have to pull from everything and get it to equal what we want. Oops, not to add. Right here, this is simple syntax errors sometimes. It gives you a red underline, such as entering. It's like if you're in a Word document and it tells you have an error, you have to right click it and figure out what's wrong. It does the same thing in this program, which is nice. Here for equal, well, I've already done this before, so this is a lot. I'll just paste it in here and explain to you what it does. Just pull it here from my other application that I've already made, if it lets me. Okay. Paste it right in. Now for the equal sign, we're gonna need the second value, whatever we enter in. Also change that number into whatever's in the text box, and then we can get the result of it. So if the sign is plus, we've already coded that part, then the result will equal value 1 plus value 2. Plus is already entered into Visual Studio, it comes with it, so we don't have to code the plus button. It already knows plus means add whatever the two numbers are, which will be value 1, whatever's entered in, and value 2. The else if sign, negative, does subtraction, and the asterisk is actually the multiplication symbol in Visual Studio. So it does that, and last but not least, the division. So now to actually get the multiplication division to work, we're gonna have to double click on those. Make sure those are good. Okay, so for CMD multiply, we're gonna want the sign still similar to subtraction addition, but sign asterisk. Don't forget that this time. Value 1 set to double dot parse. Text box dot text. Okay. And just like the CMD subtraction and addition, we're going to want to set the text box back to nothing. Alright. Now we need the division. To the right end, same thing, but divide. Okay, now let's see what we have so far. If we pull up, I see, like I said in the Word document, it shows us where the errors are at. Simple fixes, I just had typo. Oh. Where else do we have a problem? Shows our error list here. Oh, I missed another thing over here. Okay. So it pulls up here. So let's say we want to do 1 plus 2. That equals 1 plus 2. To do the wrong thing for divide. 1 minus 2. That's right. And then 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 divided by 2 equals 2, yep. 1 plus 2. Let's see. That's the problem. If we get it, then we're going to want to go ahead and go to wherever the addition button is. And, oh, we don't have the sign entered in. That's what's wrong. Okay. So once we have the sign entered in, sorry about that, we'll go to start again. 1 plus 2. Okay. Now that happens quite often. If you're rushing through your code and you get a simple syntax error like that, you just miss the plus sign. It could ruin the whole thing. But if you just check it in your output, you can just go back to it and see what's wrong and figure it out. Okay. Now the more complicated things as well, such as square and square root and all that. Double click square. Let's see, find it here. Just copy it straight in. Save some more time. So we'll set this variable here. We'll call it v, and we'll do v equals double dot parse, and then this is also a program or a function that comes already pre-installed into Visual Studio called math.pow, and we want our variable that we just set, double v and comma 2.toString. This will times the number by itself. That's what math.pow does. And then after that, we want to go to square root and pull that from the application. Okay. Again, we want the same variable double.v, all that, except this time we're going to take the square root, so we only have the v in here. This way it takes a number and square roots it. Make sure that's working. We'll do 5, square that, we get 25. Excuse me. And then square root it. Oops, I double clicked it. 5, square that, and then square root of it equals 5. Okay. Now that we have that, we only have 3 more buttons left, and you have coded your own calculator in Visual Studio. I mean, some of you may not find this exciting, but I don't know, this is exciting to me. This is what I like to do. I know some of you guys like to do this as well. Okay, so for the tangent's kind of complicated. I don't know if you guys have had math class yet, but tangent always ends up getting me somehow. Tangent, sine, and cosine. Okay, so same similarities here. So we have pow here for square root for square root. I mean pow for square root for square root, and tan for tangent. We'll do the same thing for cosine. So change this to cos. Oops. Okay. And then last button, sine. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. Does this application work? Have we coded our own calculator? 3 plus 9 equals 12. Let's square that. 144 square root 12. And I know you guys all know what the tangent of 12 is. It's obviously negative 0.6358, blah, blah, blah. And the cosine of that is that. And the sine of that is that. And then let's say we want to divide that by 8 just for fun. It works. So this is how you code a calculator in Visual Studio. If you want to mess around the output, you can. If you guys actually want to see the output that I made for my personal calculator, the application that I was using, this is what I've already done. I don't know, I like to just mess around with the output after I've done all the hard part and the coding. And yeah. This is how you make calculator in C#. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, thanks for watching.